fight their way around the law where it's not prostitution because they don't foster it, but they sell it as you are a mature adult. You dictate how your relationships should be. And one of the websites that has pioneered sugar dating is called Seeking Arrangement.
We had some people on there from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was collecting data, I saw their website and they had this huge student debt calculator, which would always keep going up. And they would use that as an advertising strategy, saying that you can be one of the students who has this crippling debt, or you can pay it off while still in college without having to work for 40 hours as a barista. So they make it sound like sugar dating is a way out, is almost like a financial freedom strategy.
And on top of that, and why that demo is sort of ripe for this is, listen, you're not getting in a serious relationship at this wage anyway. You might as well have the fun and get the perks and come out of this either debt free or with a new car, or whatever the arrangement is that they're seeking. Mm-hmm. And it can make sense in a way. It can also become very predatory. It can go in a really wrong way, but it is more open and to the point where people brag about it. It's like, this is my sugar daddy bought this. It's almost a badge of honor.
Yeah. And that's something which turned out to be the number one reason why kids sugar date. I mean, they're not doing it to pay off their debt. That's been taken care of by the government or their parents. They're using their sugar dating money to buy take care of their discretionary expenses to enjoy the
take 3 spring breaks. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And the sugar daddies and sugar mamas in exchange, there were gay male students who reported having sugar mamas, and the sugar mamas and the sugar daddies are looking for GFEs or BFEs, which is girlfriend experience and boyfriend experiences, where they both know that this is BS, but they're pretending like it's an actual relationship.
It's a virtual experience in dating somebody. Yeah, it is. What was the thing that I asked you before, what surprised you, but what was the thing that you learned that completely changed the way you always thought about things? Was there one thing that you're like, you know what, I thought this way my whole life and I was just wrong? Or I thought this way when I was younger and it turns out I was wrong. Was there something they discovered? Because people ask me that question all the time. My answer to that is always how hurt and angry so many men are. I'm doing the Great Love Debate. I didn't know that because I was neither hurt nor angry. So I assume I understood what men, that I was wrong on that, and how deeply either way in their feelings. Was there something that you discovered or learned about yourself that you're like, wow, I was way off in the way I looked at that?
In terms of this entire, let me just backtrack and say that the main motivation for me to do this study was to get a better understanding of what Gen Z is and what the media sells us versus who they are. I was seeing a clear divide, and one of them was this landscape of hookups where previous scholars have said, oh, there are 5 steps to hookups. First, you pregame, then you grind, then you initiate a hookup, then you do something, and then you establish meaninglessness. I'm like, this is way too much chaos that's happening. I mean, things are much more chill. Things are much more normal. Things are much more regular than what we are fed in our media diet. And that was something that I found out, where kids just want to have a good time. They want to be friends with their hookup partners. They want to experiment, and they're doing it in a very normal way, not like Zac Efron in Neighbors, who throws rages, and then women are coming skimpily clothed, just having random alcohol sex and waking up with one shoe. No, that's not how it works all the time.
I've talked about this on the podcast where I'm worried, and a lot of people are worried, that the coming storm is that virtual experiences and virtual sex, and somebody will be able to take a picture of you and turn it into their avatar and have it talk to you and do all that, is going to really replace. Again, we could say that for all generations of people, but the first ones that are going to be able to discover this are probably the younger people, because they are more technically savvy. Like, check this out, try this. It talks by my name and it vibrates and it feels realistic. Is that a concern, or is it something that's just going to make people miss the real thing? But if you've never had the real thing, I don't know.
I'm glad that using the term new normal has become so normalized given the pandemic. I think it's gonna feed into a new normal. Like just like we, I mean, because millennials and older Gen Zers or the Zillennials, we grew up or we faced our adolescence or our peak 20s energy with the advent of dating apps, and we created our own rules. In the same way, Gen Z, as and when the technology arises, will create their own rules, their own normal,
And hopefully it'll
which
supplement
may not
and
be
enhance the real
to
thing. Yeah.
us. Yeah. And we all might be boomers at the end of the day.
That's
You know,
true.
we just look at them with
We
this.
got to find our inner boomer. That's true. Are you hopeful?
We're just gonna, yeah.
Are,
I'm very hopeful. I think Gen Z are digital natives, and they have grown up with technology. They're not as starry-eyed as us. And I have full faith in them. They'll do good.
all right. It is called The Current Collegiate Hookup Culture. Final thought to send people out into the rest of 2022 with enthusiasm and better prospects?
Casualness is not causality. Like, just, I mean, it's not a case for concern. Just if you want to do casual sex, do it. There's nothing wrong with it.
I agree. There's nothing wrong with whatever you want to do. As long as you own the reasons why you're doing and you understand why you're doing it, you're not doing it as sort of a referendum or reward or to do something else. Do whatever you want to do. I agree with you. This was fun. I really appreciate you doing this. I like that you did a lot of the dirty work and dug into this stuff. So a lot of us who are just out here guessing and making assumptions can do it. Stay safe. Enjoy New York, and we'll talk soon.
Take care.
As far as us, that was good, you guys, wasn't it? As far as us, as always, like, share, subscribe. Please review this podcast. Your reviews are always very, very important. Check out our live tour schedule, greatlovedebate.com. As I promised on the last podcast, we have something called the Great Love Debate. We are on a Virgin, not the Virgin boat, with Richard Branson in July. We are going out to do a live Great Love Debate show in the Caribbean. We will have details on that on our social media and greatlovedebate.com coming soon. Shoot us an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com, and I'll pass the question on to Dr. Paul if you have something to do with that. Because as always, at the Great Love Debate, we never stop making love. See you next time.